I didn't buy the mountain house to brag. After 8 Christmases of silence, I needed to know if my kids remembered I was a father or just an ATM with a pulse. The place was a 3-bedroom cedar cabin about 40 minutes outside Boulder. I'd spent 6 months rebuilding the deck myself, replacing every rotten board. My hands still had splinters to prove it. I posted one photo: cedar deck, morning light, mountains stretching out forever. No caption, no invitation. 15 minutes. That's how long it took for the family chat to explode. Before we go any further, take a second to subscribe, hit the hype button, and like the video. It really helps the channel grow. And tell us in the comments, what would you do in this situation? Grace first. Dad, that's gorgeous. When can we come visit? Jason. Wow, nice place. You got room for guests? Ryan, Grace's husband. We should plan a weekend up there. Nora, Jason's wife. This would be perfect for my wellness content. Not one asked how I was. Not one mentioned the birthday cards I'd sent to silence, the calls that hit voicemail, the 4-hour drives to Denver that ended in last-minute cancellations. I set the phone down and stared at the wall. Claire appeared in the doorway with coffee. She'd been watching me all morning with that quiet way she had of reading people like tax returns. You got your answer, she said. I nodded. She crossed the workshop and pulled my phone toward her, reading the messages with neutral precision. So what do you want to do about it? I looked at my hands. 68 years old, still scarred from decades of construction. I'd built half the houses in this county, paid for Grace's wedding, ice sculptures and all, helped Jason start 3 businesses that folded within a year. For what? 15 minutes to show their cards. I want to know the truth, I said. The whole truth. Claire smiled, not warm, the smile she got when closing deals. Then we test them properly. She opened my notes app and created a document titled Evidence Log. From now on, document everything, timestamps, exact words, tone, every request, every conversation, every mention of money. You think it's that calculated? You already know it is. I read the messages again. The speed, the lack of personal questions, the immediate pivot to access. I opened voice memo and hit record. September 14th, posted cabin photo at 9:47 a.m. First response from Grace at 10:02, no greeting, just inquiry about property access. Claire squeezed my shoulder once, then left. I spent the next hour scrolling through 2 years of texts. The pattern was obvious. Every conversation started with them needing something: money, loans, co-signatures. The last time Grace asked how I was? Christmas, 16 months ago. Even that included a request for garage storage. My phone rang. Jason, video call. Hey, Dad. Wide smile, completely synthetic. Just wanted to check in about the cabin. That view is incredible. Thanks. Took work. I bet. Listen, Nora and I were thinking. We've got a long weekend in October. Could we use the place? How's work going? I asked. He blinked. What? You said things have been crazy. What's going on? Pause. Tiny, but there. Just work stuff. Clients being demanding. The freelance consulting? Yeah. How's that contract with Jameson Group? 6 months guaranteed, you said. His smile faded. They went a different direction. When? Does it matter? I'm trying to understand how you're doing. Dad, why are you giving me the 3rd degree? I'm asking how you're doing. Isn't that what fathers do? Sure, I'm fine. So about October. What happened to that contract, Jason? He rubbed his face. It fell through. The industry's volatile. But you're okay financially? I'm managing. So you don't need help. I didn't say that. There it was. But you do need the cabin, I said. I didn't mean it like that. How did you mean it? Silence. You know what? Forget it. Jason's voice went cold. You're clearly in a mood. We'll talk when you're feeling more like yourself. He hung up. I sat staring at my black reflection in the phone. Claire reappeared. Let me guess. He wanted the cabin, free weekend. When I asked questions, he shut down. So here's what we know. They want access. They're financially stressed, and they keep you at arm's length while holding out their hands. I want to give them one more chance. No, you want to believe they deserve one. Is there a difference? Yes, one makes you a fool, the other makes you human. She leaned forward. Michael, if you're doing this, do it right. Invite them up, all of them. Document everything. Then decide. She was right. I opened the family chat and typed, Hey everyone, why don't we make it official? I'd like to invite you all up October 2023, my treat. We'll cook, catch up, enjoy the mountains. Responses came like automatic fire. Grace, perfect, we'll be there. Jason, sounds great, count us in. Ryan, looking forward to it? Nora, OMG, yes. Not one offered to help. Not one suggested bringing food, just confirmations. I added to my evidence log, September 14th, 3:47 p.m., extended invitation, all accepted within 8 minutes, no offers to contribute. Claire read over my shoulder. And so it begins. 3 weeks of documentation followed, every text logged, every call recorded, every interaction time-stamped. 2 days after the invitation, Grace called at 10 p.m. Hi, Daddy. That particular sweetness from childhood when working an angle. I grabbed my phone and started recording. What's up? I've been thinking about the cabin weekend. Ryan and I are considering mountain property ourselves. The market's hot. How much did yours cost? First probe for financial information. Enough, I said. Right, but ballpark? Grace, talk to a realtor if you're serious. I trust your judgment more. Sweet voice again. You've always been so smart about investments. When did I become smart? You've spent 10 years calling me old-fashioned with money. She laughed too loud. That's not fair. This cabin proves you're branching out. I'm proud of you. Proud. The word sat like a stone. What's the real question? What do you mean? It's 10 p.m. Wednesday. You didn't call to say you're proud. Silence. Then, why do you make everything transactional? The irony was suffocating. What do you need, Grace? Fine. Ryan and I need help with a down payment. We'll pay you back with interest. But the opportunity won't last, and since you have equity, I counted to 10. Let me think about it. Really? Thank you. I said I'll think about it. Not yes. Her tone shifted. Right, of course. We'll talk at the cabin. 23 minutes, 18 of build-up, 5 of actual ask. Claire was reading in bed. How much? Didn't specify, but she mentioned Ryan's bonuses, which probably means they're not getting bonuses. I looked up his company yesterday. Down 18%, 15% workforce reduction. I pulled up Ryan's LinkedIn, found his company's announcements, took screenshots, added them to a folder labeled Ryan Employment. This isn't a criminal investigation, Claire said. It's worse. It's my family. How far are you willing to go? As far as necessary to know the truth. The next weeks brought more requests. Jason needing health insurance help. Nora already posting about family mountain time before it happened. Ryan sending LinkedIn requests to my former partners. Grace emailing power of attorney forms with just something to think about for the future. I forwarded it to Claire without comment. She called immediately. Tell me you didn't open that. I opened it, didn't sign it. Michael, that form gives them access to everything. I know what a POA is. So you understand what she's asking. Complete control. Are you confronting her? Not yet. Let's see what else surfaces. October 20th approached. I stocked the cabin, checked the heat, made up bedrooms, played gracious host. Claire worked her angle quietly. I've secured the accounts, she said October 18th. What does that mean? Assets moved into trust structure. Accounts flagged for unusual activity. I also called Carol Sanchez. She's ready if we need her. It's really that bad? It's really that preventable. The night before they arrived, I couldn't sleep. Listening to Pines Creek, thinking about every choice that led here. At 6 a.m., Grace texted, "On the road, should be there by 11. 3 exclamation points like Disney World. Claire joined me on the deck with coffee. "Today's the day." Remember, no emotion, just observation. "I know. And Michael, whatever happens, I'm with you." At 10:47, tires on gravel. Grace's Lexus came up first, Ryan driving too fast, fishtailing on gravel, nearly clipping my truck. They emerged with phones already out. Grace photographing everything for content. Ryan appraising with his eyes. I opened the door. "You made it!" Grace rushed forward. "Daddy, this is incredible!" Brief hug, then immediately back to photos. "Ryan, stand by the door. Natural content is so on brand." Ryan gave me a too firm handshake. "Great property, Michael. Hell of a view. How much land?" 5 acres. He whistled. "Smart investment. Could probably flip this for double." Not looking to flip. Grace was already inside, filming. The rustic modern aesthetic is everything. Claire emerged. "Grace, Ryan, welcome." Awkward greetings, dying conversation. "Jason should be here soon," I said. "First room left upstairs." Grace headed up, still filming. Ryan lingered. "Listen, Michael. Man to man. Can we walk?" "Here we go." Outside, hands in pockets, Ryan kept glancing at me. "I'll be straight," he said finally. "Grace and I are expanding. Need more space for Emma. Looking at $850,000 properties. We've got half in equity." "That's a big gap." "Yeah. I know you're sitting on significant assets. The cabin alone is probably $600K. Your Aurora house is paid off, right?" "Not your business." "I know, but Grace mentioned you might help with the down payment. Maybe co-sign or a family bridge loan until my Q4 bonus." "How much?" "200K would do it. Maybe 250K to be comfortable." $250,000. Like borrowing a car. "That's a lot, Ryan. For most people. But you've built success. You've got assets. And we'd structure it legally, with interest." When Grace mentioned this, she said 20 or 30,000. His expression flickered. "Grace doesn't think in exact numbers. We need enough to make a real move. And your Q4 bonus is guaranteed?" Another flicker. "Sales targets are fluid, but I'm tracking ahead." Lie. I'd seen his company's numbers. "I'll think about it." "Seriously? Michael, thank you." I said think, not yes. His smile hardened. "Right. Take your time." Inside, Claire was seasoning a roast. $250,000, I said quietly. "Bridge loan for a house." Her knife stopped. "What did you say?" "I'll think about it." "Good." Jason's Audi pulled up. Newer model, probably leased beyond his means. He and Nora came in like influencers at a sponsored event. Nora immediately filming, "Oh my gosh, you guys, we just arrived at Michael's gorgeous mountain cabin. The drive was stunning and I can already feel my cortisol dropping." Jason shook my hand. "Dad, place looks great. What did this run you?" I mind asking. "Just curious. Thinking about investment properties." "With what capital?" He blinked. "What?" "You'd need capital. Where's that coming from?" His jaw tightened. "I've got savings." "From freelance consulting that's up and down?" "Jesus, Dad. I forgot how you interrogate people." Nora lowered her phone. "Hi, Michael. This is such incredible such a special moment." Grace came down, hugs all around, performance mode activated. I stood back watching them close ranks, creating a bubble excluding me and Claire. We were the location, they were the guests. "Dinner in 2 hours," Claire said. "Why don't I show everyone the property?" Smart. Get them outside, talking, giving them rope. We walked the property line. Grace filmed everything. Nora narrated. Ryan asked about values. Jason stayed quiet but calculating. At the ravine edge with spectacular views, Grace looked at her phone screen, not the actual mountains. "Worth every penny," Ryan said. Jason peered over the edge. "You should put a railing. Safety issue. If someone gets hurt, they shouldn't walk near edges." He looked at me. "You're in a mood." "Am I?" "Yeah. making comments, asking invasive questions. What's going on? Grace turned. Daddy, is everything okay? All four watching. Waiting. This was the moment. I could defuse it or take one step forward. I chose forward. Tell me something. When's the last time any of you called just to ask how I was? No request? Just to talk? Silence. Anyone? More silence. Grace, your last text was about POA forms. Jason, yours about health insurance. Ryan just asked for $250,000. Nora, you've called this content 3 times. So, is this family or business? Grace's face hardened. That's not fair. Isn't it? We drove 4 hours. I drove 4 hours to Denver last Christmas. You canceled via text. We had plans. You always have plans, except when you need something. Ryan stepped forward. If you're having some breakdown, I'm having clarity. You're being hostile. I smiled. You want $250,000 and I'm uncalled for? That was private. Nothing's private when my name's on your lips every time your wallet gets light. Grace's voice turned brittle. I can't believe this. We came to spend time with you. Did you? Or did you come for access? Your observations are worthless, Dad. The curse landed like a slap. Grace never swore around me. Claire appeared on the trail. Dinner's ready. Maybe we should head back. Nobody moved. Or we could stand here and ruin the weekend before it starts. Your choice. That broke it. Everyone trudged back. Mood shifted from performance to resentment. Dinner was going to be very interesting. Dinner was passive aggression wrapped in forced civility. The table looked magazine perfect. Roast, vegetables, candles. It felt like a wake. Everyone sat in silence. Grace checked her phone constantly. Jason stared at his plate. Nora had stopped filming. Ryan shot me looks oscillating between anger and calculation. 5 minutes of just forks on plates. Grace broke first. So, Dad, since you're in such a questioning mood, what's this weekend really about? I set down my fork. What do you mean? The weird invitation, the interrogation, the accusations. Are you sick? No. Then what? I wanted time with family, is that strange? After 8 years of barely seeing us? Yeah. 8 years of barely seeing you. Whose fault is that? Are you blaming us? Who canceled plans? Who stopped calling? Who forgot birthdays? Ryan cut in. We've been busy. That's life. How convenient. Too busy until I have something you want. That's unfair, Nora said. We've reached out multiple times. To ask for money or favors, I noticed. Jason threw his napkin down. This is insane. You're acting paranoid. Am I? Or am I paying attention? What's that mean? I pulled out my phone. Opened the evidence log. I've been documenting our interactions. Every text, every call, every request. The table went still. You've been what? Grace whispered. Documenting. I wanted to see if anyone would reach out without wanting something. That's sick, Ryan said. What's sick is you asking for $250,000 without asking how I'm doing first. What's sick is Grace sending POA paperwork like I'm an asset to manage. Grace stood. I don't have to listen to this. Sit down. Excuse me? Sit. You drove 4 hours. You can spend 30 minutes hearing what I have to say. She sat slowly, eyes blazing. We're finishing this weekend, I said. You'll stay, eat my food, enjoy my property. In return, you'll be honest, completely honest, about what you want, why you're here, your actual financial situations. You want full accounting? Jason asked. I want truth. This is emotional blackmail, Ryan said. No. This is me asking for basic honesty. Grace's eyes were wet. You really think we're terrible? I think you've forgotten I'm a person. And what does family mean to you? Nora asked. Not what it's become. Jason stood. I need air. He walked out. Door slammed. Nora looked torn, but stayed. This is cruel, Grace said quietly. Is it? Or is it honest? You're treating us like we're on trial. You are. You've been on trial since you replied to my cabin photo in 15 minutes. Ryan leaned forward. So this was planned. Everything. Yes. Why? Because I needed to know if my children loved me or just my money. That's a false dichotomy, Nora said. Tell that to Grace with her POA forms. Grace went red. Those were for your protection. I'm 68, not 90. I'm healthy. What's the real reason? She didn't answer. Grace, what's the real reason? She looked at Ryan. He shook his head slightly. Because we care about your future. Liar. The word hung like a gunshot. Stop lying. She went still. Then, what do you want me to say? The truth. Fine, yes. We've talked about when you're gone, about making sure things are handled properly. Is that terrible? My estate. Interesting word choice. You know what I mean. I do. You mean my money. The things you think you're owed. We don't think we're owed anything, Ryan said weakly. Then why ask for $250,000 an hour after arriving? Because we need help. No, you need money. You're leveraged, overextended. You want me to cover the gap. His face went dark. You don't know anything. Your company just laid off 15%. Quarterly earnings are down. Your bonus isn't coming. You lied to me or Grace. Someone got lied to. How do you... He stopped. You investigated me? I looked at public information. Your company's numbers are online. That's a violation. It's the internet, Ryan. It's public. Grace stood again. I can't do this. Then leave. What? Leave. Doors there. 4 hours to Denver. Go. You're kicking us out? I'm giving you choice. Stay and be honest or leave and confirm everything. Nora stood. We're leaving. This is toxic. Okay. That's it? Just okay? What do you want? You're adults. We came in good faith. No, you came for content and access. She grabbed her phone and headed out. Grace looked at Ryan, who nodded. We're going too, Grace said. Fine. Dad, her voice cracked. Don't do this. I'm not doing anything. You're choosing to run. Your questions aren't simple. They're honest. She grabbed her purse, headed for stairs. Claire finally spoke. Grace. Grace turned. If you leave now, you won't be invited back. Your father's done playing games. Either sit and have a real conversation, or walk out and prove him right. Everyone held their breath. Grace's hand on the banister. Ryan halfway to the door. Your choice, Claire said. Grace looked at me. Really looked. For a moment, something real showed. Fear. Shame. Maybe love. Then she looked at Ryan. Ryan made the choice. Let's go. This is abusive. Grace followed him upstairs. Jason came back as they carried bags down. What's happening? We're leaving, Grace said. Dad's lost his mind. Jason looked at me. Is that true? Ask yourself, have I lost my mind, or have you lost perspective? He stared, then went upstairs for his bags. 10 minutes later, both cars pulled out. The cabin was suddenly very quiet. I sat at the table looking at the uneaten roast, cold vegetables, empty chairs. Claire started clearing. Don't, I said. Leave it. I need to see it. Remember what I just did. She sat across from me. You did what was necessary. Did I? Or did I just destroy my family? They destroyed it years ago. You stopped pretending. They might never come back. Maybe that's best. You don't mean that. I do. If they come back now, it'll be for the right reasons or not at all. I checked my phone. Grace had posted in the family chat. We left early. Dad's going through something. Please respect our privacy. Jason, seconding this. We need space. Nora posted a crying emoji. Nothing from Ryan. I turned off my phone. What now? I asked. Claire smiled. Not nice. Now we wait and plan. The cabin felt empty. Claire and I spent the evening cleaning up, moving through rooms still smelling of Grace's perfume and Nora's essential oils. Around midnight, I stood on the deck smoking a cigarette from my hidden emergency stash. 15 years quit, but tonight felt exceptional. Claire came out wrapped in a blanket. Those will harm you. Everything's trying to lately. They're calling people. What? Grace and Jason. I can see activity on the family cell plan. Grace has called 17 people in 3 hours. Jason's at 12. You're tracking their cell usage? I'm an accountant. I track everything. What are they saying? That you've lost it. That you're paranoid. That they're worried. So I'm the villain. For now. But perception shifts with time and evidence. How much evidence? Enough to make people question their version. Around 4 a.m., my phone buzzed. Grace. We need to talk. Tomorrow. Just you and me. I showed Claire. Don't respond yet, she said. Make her wait. People say what they mean in first drafts. In second drafts, they say what you want to hear. We fell asleep on the couch. I woke to sunlight and 3 more texts. Dad, please. I'm sorry about how things went. Can we meet somewhere neutral? See? Second draft, Claire said. Now she's sorry. Now she wants neutral ground. I texted, cabin, tomorrow, noon, just you. Immediate dots. Then, can Ryan come? No. More dots. Finally. Okay. Sunday. I prepared mentally, rehearsing words, lines, concessions. Claire worked on her laptop, occasionally reading aloud. Grace posted, sometimes people we love disappoint us. Grateful for chosen family. Jason updated LinkedIn, looking for new opportunities, open to relocating. Ryan's company announced more layoffs. He's on the list. He lost his job? Effective end of month, which means no severance, which means he's desperate, and desperate people make mistakes. Monday, 11:45, a car came up. Not Grace's Lexus, a rental. Interesting. Grace got out alone, dressed down, jeans, sweater, minimal makeup, armor off, meant to look vulnerable. Hi, Dad. Grace? Thank you for seeing me. I stepped aside. Is Claire here? Upstairs. Can we talk alone? No, Claire stays. Grace's jaw tightened. Okay. We sat at the same table. Claire joined wordlessly. Grace folded her hands. I owe you an apology. For what, specifically? For how I reacted. For walking out. For not being understanding. Okay. She waited. That's it? You apologized. I acknowledged it. I thought you'd accept it? I heard it. Don't know if I accept it. Why not? Because I don't know if you mean it or if you're repairing access. Her face colored. That's not fair. Isn't it? You sent POA paperwork 2 weeks ago. Ryan asked for $250,000 the day you arrived. So, forgive me for questioning sincerity. I meant it. Then answer questions. What questions? Why the power of attorney? She looked at her hands. Ryan thought it was smart. For estate planning. Ryan thought. Not you. I agreed. Why? Because things are tight. His job's unstable. We thought if we had access to equity, we could stabilize. Plan for Emma's future. By controlling my assets. Not controlling. Having options. That's controlling. You're being difficult. I'm being precise. You want access to what I built to solve problems you created living beyond your means. We haven't. Claire slid a folder across. Your car payment is $847. Mortgage $3,200. Country club $450. Emma's private school $2,100. That's $6,597 before utilities, food, or discretionary spending. Grace went pale. How? You added me to your joint account 3 years ago for emergency access. I pulled statements this morning. Credit card debt is $47,000. Ryan's business expenses paid from personal accounts. You're 2 months behind on the Lexus. You had no right. I had every right. You gave it. Grace looked at me. You knew all this when we got here? Yes. So Saturday wasn't about honesty. It was about humiliating us. No, it was seeing if you'd be honest without force. You weren't. Tears now. What do you want? The truth, all of it. She covered her face. We're drowning. Ryan's losing his job. 3 months from foreclosure. We've borrowed from everyone. You're our last option. I'm not an option. I'm your father. I know. That's why I'm asking. Did you think about asking instead of manipulating? I tried. But you're so hard to talk to about money. You make us jump through hoops, prove we're responsible. It's exhausting. That's accountability. It's control. No. Control is sending POA forms without explaining. Control is bringing Ryan to ask for $250,000 instead of admitting you need help. She stood. I can't do this. Then don't. What does that mean? Sit down. Stop lying. Tell me everything, and maybe we find a way forward. Or walk out, and we're done. Completely. No inheritance, no help, no relationship. You wouldn't. Try me. She stood, trembling, deciding. Finally, she sat. What do you want to know? Everything. Start with the house. For 2 hours, she unspooled it. The adjustable mortgage refinanced twice. The maxed equity line for renovations. Ryan's sports betting. 4-figure weekly losses. Credit cards juggled for minimums. Emma's unaffordable school they couldn't admit they couldn't afford. The social circle requiring expensive dinners, charity events, country club appearances. A house of cards called a life. So what now? Grace asked. Will you help? I don't know. Dad, I need to think and talk to Ryan. Ryan doesn't know I'm here. Then tell him. Whatever happens involves both of you. What about Jason? I haven't decided. She nodded. At the door, she turned. For what it's worth, I do love you. Then prove it with actions, not words. She left. Well? Claire asked. I don't know if I believe her. Does it matter? If there's any chance she's telling the truth, actual crisis, not manipulation, walking away makes me the villain. And if you help and she's lying, then I'm a fool. Damned either way. Seems like it. Claire was quiet. Then, what if there was a third option? What? Help them. On your terms. Complete terms. Full transparency. Weekly check-ins. Controlled distribution. You become their financial conservator. They'll never agree. Then you'll know they're not serious. When did you get so ruthless? When I realized our children saw us as resources, not people. Now come on. She opened her laptop and started typing. Drawing up the terms. If they want help, they'll sign this. I should have stopped her, said it was too much, too controlling, but I didn't, because she was right. The document was 15 pages of legal text. Claire worked through the night with Carol Sanchez refining it. It's basically financial receivership, Carol explained over speaker Tuesday morning. They retain ownership, but you control monetary decisions for 18 months. Every purchase over $100 requires approval. Credit frozen, budget set at sustainable levels. Can we legally do this? If they sign willingly? Absolutely. It's private loan restructuring with oversight. Question is whether they'll agree. Claire sent it to Grace at 9 a.m. Read this. Discuss with Ryan. Response by 5 p.m. today. At 9:47, Grace called. This is insane. Hello. Dad, we'd have to submit receipts for groceries, ask permission for clothes, justify every purchase. Yes. That's not help. That's imprisonment. That's accountability. Ryan will never agree. Then Ryan doesn't want help. He wants a bailout. That's not fair. Grace, I'm offering $250,000 structured assistance, debt consolidation at 0 interest, 18 months financial mentoring. In exchange, I want transparency and proof you're serious about change. If that sounds like imprisonment, you're not ready. Silence, then. I need to talk to Ryan. You have until 5. She hung up. At 2 p.m., Jason called. Grace told me about the document. And? I think you're being a dick. I almost laughed. Okay. She's struggling, and instead of helping, you're making it a power trip. You're right. That stopped him. What? I do need control of my money, my assets, the resources I spent 40 years building. I'm not giving them away without conditions. So what's my role? What do you mean? Are you auditing me next, making me sign some degrading contract? Do you need help? That's not the point. It's exactly the point. Do you need financial help? Silence. Jason, yes or no? More silence. Then quieter. Yeah. I need help. How much and for what? Cobra runs out in 3 weeks. I need insurance, behind 2 months on rent. How much total? Maybe $4,000 current, then insurance is $600 monthly. And your income? Some contracts, maybe $2,000 monthly, sometimes more. So you're net negative even when working. It's been rough. Because? Because the market's tight. Because I'm not you. I didn't build some empire. I'm trying with what I have. His voice cracked. Actual emotion. Jason, I'm not trying to punish you. It feels like punishment. I'm trying to understand what's real versus performance. With Grace, it's performance. But you, I don't know yet. What do you need to know? Why you stopped calling? Why 8 years went by? I don't know. That's not an answer. I don't know. Life got busy. You got older. We got distant. It doesn't just happen. Fine. I chose to prioritize my life over our relationship. That what you want to hear? It's a start. So now what? I help you, my way. Which is? You move into the cabin, temporarily, while you stabilize. What? You're behind on rent, need insurance, income's unstable. Move here, no rent, I cover insurance. You save money to clear debts and build cushion. I can't just move to the mountains. Why not? You work remotely, no kids. What's keeping you in Denver? My life? What life? The one you can't afford? He didn't answer. Jason, I'm offering real help, not a handout, a chance to stabilize. But it requires being here, being present, letting me actually be your father instead of your bank. For how long? 6 months? Maybe a year? And if I say no? You figure it out alone. You'd let me go homeless? You're choosing between help with conditions or pride with consequences. More silence. I need to think. You have until Friday. That's when your next rent's due, and I'm guessing you don't have it. He hung up. That was gentler than Grace, Claire said. Jason's problem isn't greed. It's pride. Pride you can work with. You think he'll take it? Yeah, because he's actually desperate, not just leveraged. At 4:47, Grace emailed. Subject: Fine. Body: We'll sign your document. When can we meet? Claire printed 3 copies, drove them to Carol's for notarization. We scheduled signing for Thursday morning. Neutral ground, legal witness, everything documented. That night on the deck, Claire came out. You okay? I'm about to take control of my daughter's financial life. No. You're giving her a lifeline. Or a noose. Depends on perspective. Michael. What if this destroys what's left? What if she signs and spends 18 months resenting me, then walks away? Then at least you'll know she was never interested in fixing things, just accessing resources. That's grim. That's realistic. When did we become these people? We've always been these people. We just stopped pretending. Thursday morning brought fresh snow. Grace and Ryan arrived at Carol's at 9 a.m. sharp. Both dressed like funerals, faces grim. We sat opposite sides, Carol at the head. Carol walked them through everything, every clause, every condition, every consequence. Section 3 outlines monthly budget. Based on Ryan's unemployment and Grace's part-time income, you'll have $4,800 monthly. She went through numbers. Housing, utilities, food, transportation, everything accounted for. Grace's face was stone. Section 5 covers asset protection. Your home goes into temporary trust controlled by Michael. You retain ownership but can't sell, refinance, or leverage without approval. Ryan's jaw worked. How long? 18 months from signing. After that, control reverts automatically. Unless we breach. Correct. Breach triggers immediate termination and acceleration of all loans. Define breach. Any undisclosed purchase over $100, any new debt, any false reporting, any attempt to access controlled assets without authorization. So one mistake and we lose everything. One intentional violation. Mistakes can be corrected if disclosed immediately. Grace spoke first time. What if we don't sign? Carol looked at me. Then we part ways, I said. No assistance, no contact. You figure it out alone. You'd really cut us off completely? Yes. She stared. I don't even know you. Good. Maybe now you'll meet the real me instead of who you thought you could manipulate. Ryan put his hand on Grace's. Let's just sign. We don't have choice. We always have choice, Grace said. Not really. She looked at the document. All 15 pages, freedom and imprisonment on white paper. Do you have a pen? She asked Carol. Carol slid 2 pens across. Grace and Ryan signed, slowly, each page initialed, each signature witnessed, each condition accepted. When done, Carol gathered documents. I'll file these today. Trust transfers take about a week. Michael, you'll want to set up the oversight account. Already done, Claire said. Grace stood. Are we finished? Almost, I said. What? I pulled out my phone, opened the evidence log, turned it so she could see. Every conversation, every text, every request, all documented. This is what the last month looked like from my perspective. She scrolled slowly, seeing her own words reflected, the timestamps, the patterns, the manipulations laid bare. When she looked up, tears in her eyes. You really think we're that terrible? I think you lost your way. This is me helping you find it. By treating us like children. By treating you like adults who made bad choices and need structure to recover. Ryan stood. We should go. Grace handed back my phone. For what it's worth, I'm sorry. I know. Do you forgive me? Ask me in 18 months. They left. Claire, Carol, and I sat in silence. Finally, Carol broke it. That was hard. Necessary, though, Claire said. Maybe. But necessary doesn't mean easy. I stood. What's next? Next, we wait and see if they follow through. My guess? 6 months from now, they either thank you or hate you. No middle ground. Great. Outside, snow was falling harder. Grace and Ryan's car was gone, tracks disappearing under fresh powder. I checked my phone. Jason had texted. I'll take the cabin. When can I move in? Immediately. Thanks, Dad. 2 words. But they felt real. Claire took my arm. Come on, let's go home. Which home? Whichever feels less empty. We drove back. Jason arrived that evening with everything he owned crammed into his Audi. This is it? I don't need much. Where's Nora? His face closed. We separated 2 days ago. I'm sorry. Don't be. She was only around for image. When I said I was moving here, she just left. He carried stuff upstairs. I heard him moving around, then silence. That night, 3 of us ate dinner. Quiet, awkward, but real. Jason cleared his plate without being asked. Thanks for letting me stay. Thanks for coming. I'm still not happy about how this went down. I know. But I get it. Sort of. That's a start. He went upstairs. Claire and I cleaned. 2 down, she said. 1 to go. But first, we had to see if Grace and Ryan would survive the structure, or burn it down trying. First 2 weeks of oversight were surprisingly smooth. Grace and Ryan submitted expense reports on time. Every purchase documented. Every receipt photographed. They stayed within budget, made scheduled check-ins, behaved perfectly. It made me nervous. They're too compliant, I told Claire week 3. Maybe they're trying. Or waiting for us to relax before making a move. You're paranoid. I'm realistic. Jason, meanwhile, had settled like he'd always been there. He worked during the day. Actual work. I could hear calls, see focus, cooked his meals, helped with maintenance without being asked, seemed stable. Weird seeing him like this, Claire said one morning, watching Jason split firewood. Like what? Functional. He was always functional, just had too many distractions. Or too many enablers. She had a point. Day 19, Grace called at 11 p.m. Dad, what's wrong? Nothing's wrong. I just wanted to say thank you. I waited. I mean it. First week I was angry, humiliated. But now, it's like I can breathe for the first time in years. We're not drowning, not juggling payments. We just live, within our means. It's weird. Weird good or bad? Weird good, I think. Pause. Ryan got an interview, real job, not sales. Operations management at a logistics company. That's great. Yeah, he's different too, less stressed, less angry, like the pressure valve released. How's Emma? She doesn't know anything changed, but she's noticed we're around more. We eat dinner together now, home-cooked meals. I forgot how to cook for a while. Your mother taught you well. I just forgot. Silence. Dad, did you know it would be like this? Like what? Relief. Underneath the anger. Did you know taking away choices would feel like freedom? I hoped. I'm still mad at you. I know. But I'm also grateful. Is that weird? No. That's growth. After she hung up, I sat in the dark trying to separate hope from evidence. Claire found me an hour later. Good news or bad? Grace called to say thank you. And you don't believe her. I want to. But I've been burned too many times. So we watch and wait. Yeah. Week 4, Ryan got the job. Grace texted, Ryan starts Monday, operations manager at Front Range Logistics, salary plus benefits, we made it. Jason replied with congratulations. I replied, proud of him. And I meant it, despite everything. Week 5 brought a slip. Grace submitted a report with $300 clothing from Nordstrom. Claire flagged it. That's over discretionary allowance. By how much? By all of it. Clothing budget is $100 monthly. She spent 3 times that. I called Grace. She answered first ring. I know. I saw it after submitting. I'm sorry. What happened? Emma needed school clothes. Growing so fast, everything's too small. I tried to stay in budget, but quality costs more, and I didn't want cheap things that fall apart. She was spiraling, old panic creeping back. Grace, stop. She stopped. Return what you can. Keep what Emma needs. Submit revised report with explanation. This time it's a warning. Next time it's breach. Okay, thank you. And Grace? Next time you think you'll exceed budget, call first. We can talk through it. Find alternatives. Point isn't to punish you for life happening. It's to make you think before spending. I know. Old habits. Habits change with practice. She returned $180, kept essentials, submitted revised report with detailed explanation and apology. Crisis averted. Jason watched from the sidelines. He'd seen the reports. I'd left them on the counter by accident. You're really doing it, he said one morning. Doing what? Actually helping them. I thought this was just control, but you're teaching. That was always the point. I didn't see it. I know. He refilled coffee. I need to tell you something. My stomach dropped. What? Nora's posting about us, online, saying I abandoned her, chose money over love, our relationship was a lie. Is any of that true? The abandoned part, yeah, but the rest, no. We didn't have a real relationship. We had content and appearances. When those went away, nothing was left. I'm sorry. Don't be. But I thought you should know in case people ask or Grace sees it. Let her post. Truth always comes out. Does it? More often than lies survive. He nodded. Went back to work. That evening, email from Carol. Flag on Ryan Moore. Someone's been running credit checks on your accounts, traced to his IP address. I showed Claire. He's probing, seeing what access he has. He has none. He doesn't know that, or he's testing if we're watching. What do we do? Nothing yet. Let him make the actual move. Right now, it's just reconnaissance. But it bothered me. Ryan was already looking for cracks, ways around the structure. I didn't tell Grace, not yet. Wanted to see how far Ryan would go. Week 7, Jason got a solid contract. 6-month project, good pay, actual stability. We celebrated with steaks and beer on the deck. This feels normal, Jason said. What does? Family dinner. No performance, no agenda, just people. It's been a while. Yeah, Claire raised her beer. To small victories. We clinked bottles. That night after Jason went to bed, my phone buzzed. Email from bank. Attempted access to account. 9-2. Blocked per security settings. IP trace, Denver metro area. I forwarded it to Claire. Her response, it's time. Time for what? Time to see how serious Grace is. Because Ryan just tried accessing your accounts without permission. If she knew and didn't tell us, she's complicit. If she didn't know, she needs to decide whose side she's on. This could destroy everything we've built. Or reveal what's actually there. I stared at the email. Then I called Grace. Grace answered on the 3rd ring, sleep-rough and confused. Dad, it's 11:30. What's wrong? Is Ryan there? He's asleep. What's going on? I need you somewhere he can't hear. Now. Rustling, footsteps, door closing. Okay, bathroom. What happened? Ryan tried accessing my bank accounts tonight, twice. Both blocked, but logs show his IP address. Silence. Grace? I didn't know. Barely a whisper. I swear. But you're not surprised. More silence. Talk to me. What's going on? He's been stressed about the control, about oversight. He keeps saying we're grown adults and shouldn't have to ask permission. That was the deal. I know, and I keep telling him. But he's been different since he started the new job. More confident, less grateful. Like now that he has income, he doesn't need the help. The help keeping you from foreclosure. I know, I've said that, but he doesn't see it that way. He sees you controlling us. I am controlling the finances. That's the agreement. I know, Dad. What do you want me to do? Tell me if he's planning something, looking for ways around the structure, if he's going to violate terms. I don't know what he's planning. He doesn't tell me things anymore. That hit differently. Since when? Since we signed. Since we lost control. He's pulling away, making decisions without talking to me, staying late at work, coming home angry. Has he hurt you? No, nothing like that. He's just distant, like he resents me for agreeing. But you did agree, both of you. I know. But I think he only agreed because he thought he could work around it. Now he's realizing he can't, and he's panicking. Grace, I need complete honesty. Okay? Are you in this, really in this? The recovery, the structure, the change, or playing along until you can get free? She was crying now. Quiet tears. I'm in it. I hate parts of it. Hate asking permission, hate budgets and oversight and feeling like a child. But I'm also sleeping at night for the first time in 3 years. Not having panic attacks about bills. Emma's happy. We're stable. I don't want to lose that. Even if it means choosing between stability and Ryan? What? If Ryan forces a choice, him or the structure, which do you pick? Dad, that's not fair. It's the question you're going to answer. Maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, but he's going to make you choose. He's my husband. He's also the reason you're in this mess. We're both the reason. True, but you're fixing it. He's trying to break it. She didn't argue. Grace, I'm documenting tonight's attempt. I'm flagging it as a warning. But if he tries again or does anything else to violate terms, the whole agreement's void. which means foreclosure, repossession, bankruptcy, all the things we've been preventing. Can you not tell him you know? Not yet? Why? Because if you confront him, he'll deny it and get defensive. But if I talk to him, figure out what he's thinking, maybe I can stop him before he does something worse. You want to protect him. I want to protect my family, Emma, our home, everything we're trying to save. I thought about it, weighed risks. You have 48 hours. Find out what he's planning, if he's working alone or with someone, if this was a test or opening move. And Grace, if you lie about this, we're done. Completely. I won't lie. You have before. Not about this. Not when it matters this much. 48 hours. Then I'm confronting him regardless. Okay, thank you. Don't thank me, just handle it. I hung up. Claire had been listening on speaker. You think she'll do it? I think she's terrified enough to try. And if she doesn't? Then we know where her loyalty lies. Next day, crawled. I tried to work, but every sound made me check my phone. Jason noticed. You okay? Fine. You're a terrible liar. I set down the wrench. Ryan tried to hack my accounts. What? When? Last night. Grace says she didn't know, but I'm not sure. What are you going to do? Gave her 48 hours to figure out what he's planning. And if she doesn't? Agreement's void and they're on their own. That'll destroy her. Maybe. Or force her to finally stand up to him. You think she will? I think she's changed more than she realizes. Whether that's enough? I shrugged. For what it's worth, I think you're doing the right thing. Which thing? The control or the trust? Both. They're two sides of the same coin. 36 hours in, Grace called. I found something. What? Ryan's been talking to a lawyer about contesting the trust, trying to get it dissolved. On what grounds? Undue influence, claims you coerced us, that we were under financial duress and didn't have real choice. My chest tightened. Were you? No, I mean yes. We were under duress, but you didn't force us. We had options. We could have said no. Would a judge see it that way? I don't know. But Ryan thinks he has a case. When's he filing? I don't know. He's still consulting, but Dad, he's also been moving money. What money? He doesn't have access. His paychecks. He's been depositing them into a separate account I didn't know about, not the joint account we report on. A personal account opened after we signed. Clear violation. How much? I don't know. But I saw a statement on his laptop. Looked like at least $8,000. That's 2 paychecks plus. Yeah. Grace, you understand what this means? That he's planning to leave. Or setting up separate financial life while still benefiting from the structure. Either way, it's breach. I know. So, what do you want to do? What do I want? Or what do you want? What do you want? This is your life. Your marriage. Your choice. She was quiet for a long time. I want to save my family, my real family, me and Emma. If that means Ryan leaves, then that's what it means. You're sure? No, but I'm not willing to lose everything I've worked for to keep someone actively trying to destroy it. Okay, here's what we do. I outlined the plan. Simple, direct, legal. Grace listened without interrupting. When I finished, that'll force his hand. That's the point. What if he fights? Then he fights, but he'll lose. How do you know? Because we have documentation of everything, every agreement, every violation, every choice, and we have Carol Sanchez. What about Emma? What about her? How do I explain this? You tell her the truth, that sometimes adults make mistakes, and fixing them requires hard choices. She's 11. She's tougher than you think. She's going to hate me. Maybe at first, but she'll understand eventually. I hope you're right. So do I. We set the confrontation for the following evening. Neutral ground. Carol's office. Grace would tell Ryan it was a routine 6-week review. He'd show up expecting bureaucracy and get accountability. I barely slept, ran through every scenario. At 5 a.m., I gave up and went for a walk. November cold bit through my jacket. Jason was in the kitchen when I got back. Couldn't sleep either? Nope. What time's the meeting? 6 tonight. You want company? At the meeting? No. After. Whatever happens, you're going to need someone to talk to who isn't Claire. I looked at him. Since when did you get wise? Since I stopped pretending to have all the answers. At 5:30, Claire and I drove to Carol's. Grace was already there, pale and shaking. Carol sat at her desk, documents arranged in neat stacks. Where's Ryan? I asked. Running late, Grace said. He texted 5 minutes ago. We waited in uncomfortable silence. At 5:47, Ryan arrived. Confident stride, easy smile. Sorry I'm late. Traffic was insane. No problem, Carol said. Sit down. He sat next to Grace, gave her a smile that didn't reach his eyes. Carol opened the first folder. This is meant to be a routine 6-week review. Unfortunately, we've identified some concerns. His smile flickered. Concerns? According to our monitoring, there were 2 unauthorized attempts to access Michael's bank accounts on November 3rd. Both originated from your IP address. That's impossible. I don't even have his account information. And yet the logs are clear. Someone spoofed my IP. It's not that hard. We also have documentation of a separate bank account opened October 27th in your name only, an account that's received deposits totaling $8,400 from your employer, money that should have been reported under the agreement. Color drained from his face. How did you... He stopped, looked at Grace. You told them. I found your statements, Grace said quietly. On your laptop. You went through my computer? You were hiding money from us, from me. I wasn't hiding anything. That's my income. I earned it. Under the terms of an agreement requiring full disclosure, Carol said. Willingly? We were about to lose everything. We didn't have choice. You had the choice to say no, I said. You chose this structure. Because you backed us into a corner. Because you made bad decisions and needed help. He stood. This is nonsense. You've been controlling us, spying on us. Sit down, Carol said. Not loud, just firm. Ryan sat. Here's the situation. You've violated terms in multiple ways. Unauthorized access attempts, undisclosed accounts, unreported income. Each violation individually would trigger termination. Combined, they're grounds for immediate dissolution and acceleration of all debts. You can't do that. I absolutely can. It's in Section 11. She slid a paper across. This is notice of termination, effective immediately. All assistance ends. All asset protection ends. You have 30 days to vacate before foreclosure proceedings begin. Grace, Ryan turned to her, tell them this is insane. Grace's hands were shaking. I can't. What? I can't protect you anymore, Ryan. I tried. I warned you. I begged you to follow the rules, and you couldn't do it. So you're choosing him over me? I'm choosing stability over chaos. I'm choosing Emma over ego. I'm choosing to save what's left. We're married. I know. Doesn't that mean anything? It means I love you. It also means I can't let you destroy us. Ryan stood, grabbed his jacket. You'll regret this. Maybe, but I'll regret losing my daughter more. He walked out. Door slammed. Grace started crying, real ugly crying. Claire moved to sit next to her, put an arm around her shoulders. I stayed where I was. What happens now? Grace asked through tears. Now we modify the agreement, Carol said. Remove Ryan as co-signatory. Transfer everything to your name only. Extend oversight 6 months to ensure stability through the divorce. Divorce? He violated a legal contract and concealed assets. Any lawyer will tell you that's grounds. Emma's going to be devastated. Emma's going to be fine, I said. Kids survive divorce. They don't survive parents who stay together and destroy each other. Grace looked at me. How did you know? How did you know it would come to this? I didn't know. I suspected. Why didn't you warn me? Because you wouldn't have believed me. You had to see it yourself. She nodded slowly. I'm sorry. For what? For making you do this. For forcing you to become this person. I'm not a different person. I'm just done pretending. We sat there for a while in the quiet aftermath. Finally, Grace stood. I should get Emma from the babysitters. Do you want me to come? Claire asked. No, I need to do this alone. She left. Carol started gathering papers. That was brutal. Necessary, though. Maybe, but brutal nonetheless. I couldn't argue with that. 3 weeks later, Grace filed for divorce. Ryan fought initially, hired a lawyer, claimed abandonment, threatened to expose the financial abuse of my oversight. But Carol had anticipated everything. Every document was clean, every signature witnessed, every choice documented. The judge took one look and granted Grace temporary sole custody, exclusive use of the home, and a restraining order against Ryan accessing marital assets. Ryan moved out within 48 hours. Grace and Emma moved into the cabin for a month while legal dust settled. It was tight. Jason in one room, them in another, Claire and me in the master. But it worked. We took turns cooking, split chores, lived like an actual family instead of people sharing DNA. Emma asked questions. Good questions. Hard questions. Grace answered honestly. Age-appropriate but honest. We made mistakes with money, she told Emma one night. And Grandpa is helping us fix them. But your dad didn't want to fix them. He wanted to keep making them. Is that why he's gone? That's part of it. Will he come back? I don't know, honey. Do you want him to? Grace looked at me, then back at Emma. I want him to be happy, and I want us to be safe. Sometimes those things don't happen in the same place. Emma processed that. Then, are we safe here? Yes. Then this is good. Kids. Sometimes they're smarter than all of us. Jason got offered a full-time position with his contract client. Good salary, benefits, actual stability. I should probably start looking for my own place, he said one evening. Why? I asked. Because I can afford it now. Can you? He thought about it. Comfortably? No, but I could make it work. Or you could stay here, bank the rent money, build a real cushion. Save for something you actually want, instead of jumping into another lease you're not sure about. You want me to keep living with you? I'm saying you don't have to leave just because you can. The cabin's here, the room's here. Stay as long as it's useful. He was quiet. Then, thanks, Dad. For what? For not making this about dependence, for making it about choice. That's what I should have done from the beginning. Grace's divorce finalized in February. Ryan didn't contest it in the end. His lawyer told him fighting would only make things worse. He got standard visitation with Emma, a split of remaining non-trust assets, and a stern warning from the judge about attempting to access Grace's finances. The day the decree came through, Grace came into the kitchen where I was making coffee. It's done. How do you feel? Lighter, sadder, relieved, scared, all of it at once. That's normal. Is it? I think so. Endings are complicated. She poured coffee. We stood in comfortable silence. Dad? Yeah? I need to tell you something. Here it comes, I thought. What? I got a job, real job, full-time interior design at a firm in Boulder. Salary, benefits, the whole thing. Grace, that's incredible. Yeah, but it also means I can start standing on my own, really on my own, which means the oversight structure. I don't think I need it anymore. I set down my mug. Tell me why. Because I've learned what I needed to learn. How to budget, how to say no, how to prioritize, how to build stability instead of appearances. And I think if I keep relying on the structure, I'm just trading Ryan's control for yours. That's fair. So can we transition out? Maybe monthly check-ins instead of weekly? Gradual independence? I studied her face. The woman in front of me looked different than the one who'd shown up in October. More tired, more real, more herself. On one condition. What? You keep Emma in the cabin one weekend a month, not because I'm checking up on you, because I want to know my granddaughter. Her eyes welled up. Deal. We shook on it. That weekend, Carol drew up the modified agreement, phased reduction of oversight, full independence by June, all loans converted to zero-interest 15-year notes. Grace would pay what she could when she could, and we'd forgive the rest if necessary. She signed without hesitation. This feels different than last time. How so? Last time I signed because I had to. This time, I'm signing because I want to. That's the difference. March brought warm winds and early thaw. Jason announced he was staying permanently. I like it here. The quiet, the space, the work. I'm making more money now than I ever did in Denver, and I'm spending less. It's good. You're not bored? Not even a little. Turns out I don't need the city. I just needed purpose. Grace moved back to her house in April. Emma cried leaving the cabin, but Grace promised they'd visit every weekend, and she kept that promise. Ryan tried reaching out a few times. Emails, texts, voicemails apologizing and asking for another chance. Grace didn't respond. That's hard, I told her one Saturday while Emma and Jason were hiking. What is? Ignoring him. It's not hard, it's necessary. He hasn't changed. He's just lonely. How do you know? Because if he'd changed, he'd be apologizing for what he did, not asking for what he wants. Smart kid. Finally. May brought an unexpected visitor. I was working on the deck when a car pulled up. Nora. Oh, hell, Jason muttered from the doorway. You want me to handle it? No, I've got this. He walked down to meet her. I stayed on the deck, close enough to hear but far enough to give space. What do you want? Jason asked. I wanted to see how you were doing. I'm fine. You look good, healthy. Thanks. I saw your LinkedIn, new job. Congratulations. Okay. Jason, I wanted to say I'm sorry for how things ended, for the posts, for making it about content instead of about us. There was no us. That's the problem. There could have been, if I'd tried harder. Or if I'd tried less. Either way, it's done. Are you seeing anyone? That's not your business anymore. Right. Sorry. She looked up at the cabin, saw me, waved. I didn't wave back. I should go, she said. Yeah. Jason? What? I really am sorry for what it's worth. It's worth something. Just not enough to change anything. She left. Jason came back up to the deck. That was weird. You okay? Yeah, better than okay. I don't feel anything. Not anger, not regret. Just nothing. That's how you know you've moved on. Is it? Yeah. June arrived with wildflowers and clarity. Grace's oversight ended officially on June 15th. We celebrated with dinner at the cabin, all of us, including Emma. A toast, Claire said, raising her glass. To survival, to change, to family that's chosen instead of assumed. We clinked glasses. Emma asked, What does that mean, Grandma? Chosen? It means we're here because we want to be, not because we have to be. Isn't that always true? No, honey, not always. After dinner, Grace pulled me aside. I have something for you. She handed me an envelope. Inside was a check. $15,000. Grace, you don't have to. I want to. It's the first payment on the loans. There will be more. Maybe not every month, but whenever I can. This is too much. It's not nearly enough, but it's a start. I looked at the check, looked at her. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of me too. That night, Jason, Claire, and I sat on the deck under stars. We did it, Jason said. Did what? Survived. All of us. Together. We did more than survive, Claire said. We rebuilt. I didn't say anything. Just sat there feeling the weight of what we'd done. The damage, the repair, the cost, the worth. You think they'll be okay? Jason asked. Grace and Emma? Yeah, I do. How do you know? Because she chose reality over comfort. That's the hardest choice anyone can make. What about you? Claire asked me. Are you okay? Honestly? Always. I'm better than okay. For the first time in 8 years, I actually know my kids. Not the versions they performed. The real people underneath. And I like them. Genuinely like them. Even after everything? Especially after everything. We sat in comfortable silence as stars wheeled overhead. My phone buzzed. Text from Grace. Emma says thank you for letting us be a family again. She says this was the best year of her life. I showed Claire and Jason. That's worth everything, Jason said. Yeah, I agreed. It really is. The story should have ended there. Happy resolution, family healed. But life doesn't work that way. And neither did Ryan. July 12th, Tuesday. I was replacing deck boards when Grace called. Dad, Ryan filed a lawsuit. I set down the hammer. Against who? You, me, Carol. He's claiming the oversight structure was financial elder abuse. Says you manipulated us while vulnerable. He's asking for damages and restoration of his marital property rights. He can't. He signed a divorce decree. His lawyer says the decree was obtained under duress because I was still under your control. That's insane. That's what he's arguing. I walked into the cabin. Claire was at the kitchen table with her laptop. Ryan's suing us. She didn't look surprised. For what? Elder abuse. Financial manipulation. Predicted that in October. What's he asking for? Damages. Restoration of property rights. Access to the house. He'll lose. How do you know? Because we documented everything. Every signature. Every choice. Every conversation. He has no case. She was right. Carol confirmed it that afternoon. It's a nuisance suit, Carol said over the phone. He's hoping you'll settle rather than fight. Classic intimidation. But if we go to court, he loses. Badly. So we fight it. It'll be public. Your finances, your family dynamics, the whole mess will come out. Let it. You sure? I'm sure. I'm done hiding from truth. The preliminary hearing was set for August 23rd. Ryan's lawyer showed up with a stack of grievances and exactly zero evidence. Carol dismantled every argument in 45 minutes. The judge was not impressed. Mr. Moore, your own divorce decree acknowledges you concealed assets and violated contractual obligations. Nothing in this filing demonstrates elder abuse or undue influence. If anything, the record shows Mr. Whitlock provided extraordinary assistance during a financial crisis of your own making. But, Your Honor, Ryan's lawyer tried. I'm not finished. Furthermore, your attempt to resurrect marital property claims after a finalized divorce borders on frivolous. I'm dismissing this case with prejudice. Mr. Moore, you're barred from filing any further actions regarding these matters without leave of this court. Do you understand? Yes, Your Honor. Good. We're done here. We walked out into August sunshine. Grace was waiting outside. She'd attended as a witness but hadn't been needed. Is it over? She asked. It's over, I said. She hugged me. Hard. Thank you. For what? For not letting him win. For protecting us. For everything. That's what fathers do. We stood there in the parking lot, the three of us, me, Claire, Grace, and I realized something. This was my family now. Not the one I'd started with. Not the one I'd imagined in my 20s when the kids were small and the world was simple. This one. Built from wreckage and honesty and hard choices. And it was enough. More than enough.